Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long was 1975.
This is Star Trek, the arcade game. This is a home port running on the Commodore 64. The original game was released by Sega in the arcades in 1983, and it uses vector graphics. It has two displays on the same screen. The top screen is like a top-down view of your ship and the enemy ships and, you know, space stations and stuff like that. And basically beneath that is a sort of a first-person bridge view of all the ships that you have to fight in vector graphics. Think Star Wars, and it's basically invading Klingons. And in the arcade, it actually has synthesized speech. Obviously, in 1983, the movies were out. Obviously, the series was still massively popular. So I can only assume that this game was, you know, also really popular. There are two cabinets, a sit-down cab and a stand-up cab, and I never ever saw one of these cabinets ever. I really don't think they were that prevalent in the UK, but by all means prove me wrong. It was ported to the Commodore 64, the TI-99, the Atari 8-bits, the Atari 5200, Atari 2600, VIC-20 and ColecoVision and Apple II. So I'm guessing this is a US release. Basically, you have multiple views, and how well you do is dependent upon your ability to effectively manage your resources, which is shield energy, photon torpedoes and warp energy that are represented on the left hand side screen at the top. These are recharged when you dock with star bases. I have played this in MAME. I would have done a video, but it just won't capture very well. It was actually really rather quite well received in the arcades. Hang on. That's all we get. That's all we get. I don't know who ported this. It does not say. I could find very little information on it whatsoever, but I really wanted to do a gameplay because I found this on my C64 Mini in the kind of archive multiple disc section where you load up a disc, and then there's a whole bunch of games in a sub directory under that disc, and I saw this and thought this would be quite interesting to see how the Commodore does it. Does it do it with vector graphics? Spoilers! No. And I'm assuming that I would have to use keyboard controls to manage the said resources that I do like that title screen that I just mentioned, only obviously I can't. So I'm just going to go in there guns blazing, you know, Kirk style, if you will. See what I did there? By the way, old Star Trek, absolutely fantastic. I love Deep Space Nine, I love Voyager, I love The Next Generation, new Star Trek. Basically, I like the, you know, the Next Generation movies, apart from Insurrection, which was shite. I love Star Trek 2. Star Trek 1 is just, it's weird. I love the Search for Spock. The whole even odd thing doesn't always necessarily play out. First Contact's absolutely fantastic. Modern TV shows, especially Picard, which has just been infected with the shite that it ruins every modern TV show. He's not Picard in it, and it's fucking awful. Basically, you want to watch a really good modern Star Trek show, watch the Orville. Seriously, you'll thank me. So anyway, let's get into it. Right, so top of the right side, top towards the right, you can see me. Those blue things are my space stations. The closer you get to those things, those are Klingons. I've just docked with him, so I've replenished everything. I think I went to a new part of space. Okay, they're firing shit at me, so I'm just going to try and shoot them and then charge my shields up. But when I destroy every single one on the screen, then that means I go to a different part of space. Right, hang on. There we go. So it's quite fast paced, and do you know what? It may not be vectors, but it's doing a decent job. They go blue once you've replened. Also, the other cool thing is if you look at the bottom screen, that's a starbase. Space station, Dave, you moron. Yeah, so they're not vector. They look alright. They really do look alright. So those three things I'll have another go at seeing if I can do an arcade gameplay, but those three things top left, they are obviously shields, phasers, warp, torpedoes, whatever I just said. I'm going after this yellow thing. Or can I even go after this yellow thing? Or is it a planet? I don't know. But yeah, I think this is... If I loved the arcade machine back in the day and was a huge Trek fan, could have had synthesized speech, but I'm assuming this is a really early game. Oh my god, I really am shy. Did I kill him? I have no idea what it's doing there. I'm assuming that's supposed to be... It could be the game fucking up. I'm assuming that's supposed to be an explosion. But I'm straight back into the space game. But yes... Oh, no. I mean, it's easier to play it from the top. I guess they've just done the bottom, or at least in the arcade, for effect. Do I have no mates? But I would have loved this if I was a Star Trek fan. I really, really would have. This is a pretty decent conversion. I mean, like I said, no vectors. Could it have done vectors? Pretty sure the Spectrum version could have done vectors of this. Possibly the Commodore 64 version could have done vectors of this. Again, this is, you know, very early. I don't think I died. I think I progressed. To be honest, I've got no clue what's going on. That's my score to the top left above my yellow squiggly thing. That's right. Scotty, see if you can give me any more from the yellow squiggly thing. It's very, very simple. Are they mines? I'm assuming they're mines. Is that... Oh, not level progression, because I'm progressing, aren't I? I'm assuming if I'm dead, we go back to the title screen. But we have not. Yeah, I started with no energy. Oh, did I just blow up my own starbase? The yellow one, then, is obviously not lives, because I went completely down on it, and yet here I am, still alive. I'm getting used to this now. I'm not even having to look at the bottom screen to line my shots up. Kirk is the best captain, by the way. I mean, if you're a massive Next Generation fan, good for you. But Kirk is the best captain. Mainly because Shatner and shit. Oh no! I wanted to charge my shizzle up. That one's a bastard. I feel that I'm being disrespectful if I talk over the music, even though we're on the squiggly screen of death. Ooh, look at them with the weapon upgrades. Upgrades. No, let's get for a charge. Very simplistic. What do you want in 983? Virtual reality? Any decent... I tell you what, actually decent modern Star Trek games. None of them really float my boat. Tell you what, I was really disappointed. Who was it? There was supposed to be one on the Spectrum, the Commodore and the Amstrad for when it was its 20th anniversary or something like that. And it looked amazing. I can't remember who was supposed to make it. Was it even Firebird? I don't know. And that never came out. And I was gutted because obviously I only got to watch Star Trek when I was a kid on like BBC Two and stuff, you know, in the evenings, and then sometimes early morning, like holiday TV, I think. But I loved it. We used to call it Star Trek because we were fucking stupid. The range on my guns is shit, as you would expect. But yeah, so do you know what? Again, 1983, very, very simple. But you look like the Enterprise, so I mean, I think it's safe to say people, particularly Star Trek fans, I'm not going to say Trekkies, I know that's the correct descriptive term, but I fucking hate that term, I really, really do. Oh. Who remembers the Star Trek X-Men crossover comic? I still have it. Holy shit, that was fucking terrible. Sorry, Wolverine would have ripped Spock apart, seriously. But I mean, if you played this, I mean, assuming this never got, again, I could be entirely wrong on this. Did he just take out my space station? I have the dinky Star Trek Enterprise. I have that as well, the Klingon one. It's blue, so I guess you could argue this colour. They got the colour right from a gaming perspective. So why did they even have shuttlecraft if they could always beam down? So many questions, but yeah, loved it as a kid. Loved the cartoon. Didn't see that till years later. Hang on. I don't know what that's supposed to be. By all means, people tell me. But yeah, I didn't get to see it until it was on Nickelodeon in the 90s. Obviously, the Star Trek animated show. Anyway, there you go. Star Trek arcade game, otherwise known as Star Trek Strategic Operations Simulator. At least on the Commodore might be too strong a descriptive term. That means I died, I think. But yeah, I'd love to know if you played this back then. I'd love to know specifically if you played this in the arcades. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.